Good morning and welcome to New York City. I'm currently staying at actually one of my subscribers, Lauren, shout out. I'm renting her place out here in Chelsea. I'm working a Target job. I'm a prop stylist, and Target is a new client of mine. And we have a 2-week photo shoot out here in New York. So I'm living out here and I'm filming in her lovely apartment. She's got this cute little bookshelf behind me. And yeah, thought I would film something because it's a Sunday, rainy, well, more so gloomy afternoon. And I thought it would be a good time to review some of my subscribers' homes. I've gotten quite a few submissions, and I wouldn't say this is a review. It's more like, I'm reviewing, but it's also critiques and suggestions for things I think you could do to upgrade your home. So if you're interested in participating in the next one, send a horizontal video to hipagewassel@gmail.com. I think it should be fun. I got quite a few submissions. I've done this before. I think this is like my third review. I'll link the previous ones down below. But let's get started on today's video of reviewing my subscribers' homes. First up, we have Maggie, who just bought this home with her husband. And I'm not sure where this is located, but I think it's a pretty cool home. So I thought we would check out her space first. Okay, immediately, I think that this home just has some unique features. It has amazing light. And I feel like if you're going to have tile in your home, this is definitely the type of tile I would do. Well, there's like upgraded tiles that I would get as well, but a lot of people have very outdated tile, and I feel like when it's terracotta, that's the best type. You get lucky if your outdated tile is terracotta because it could be so much worse. And I actually really like this specific tile because it looks very authentic. It's not like the fake, like shiny kind that I actually had in my Chicago space that I ended up replacing. So first off, keep the tile if you were thinking of getting rid of it. The rug is super interesting. I actually like the jute, and it has a nice pattern to it. And I think because it's a sunroom, that's a really good place for a jute rug to be, because I feel like a lot of people have jutes in their family room or their bedroom, and I feel like that's a little bit uncomfortable. I love the look of a jute rug, and they're cheap, but they aren't the comfiest. So a sunroom is good. I think she decorated this like entry area to the sunroom perfectly by adding in like a nice credenza where she can just have, cool art pieces. And I feel like she definitely has an eye for design because you can tell she has like little prop styling moments throughout her space. So I do like that cabinet and the rug. If you have an old antique piano, finding a wall that isn't of use to stick it on is perfect. This is great. This is the perfect area to just have pieces that don't actually have a purpose. It's all decor. I think my one note for this console table would be to add at least one lamp. I think it needs some height and maybe even a tree or some type of greenery to the right of it because there's like an empty space. This is definitely an area where you could incorporate some nice greenery because it has so much light. As for the windows up above, you could get something custom up there, but I'm assuming the room wants that light, so you could get some shades up there, but I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. It's kind of nice. I think that little table in the corner doesn't really feel necessary. It almost feels like it's a side table, so I get why sticking it in the corner to create a little moment. But I think actually in that area would be the perfect space for a tree or maybe a tall bookshelf. I think a side table just doesn't feel quite right, but I think it looks nice, especially for, you just bought this house. So sometimes it's like you just throw things in spaces just to have a place. You'll notice as we walk through the space, she has a lot of Asian collectibles. So there's this Asian mirror. She has like an Asian book on her credenza, and you'll notice some other pieces, which I really, really love. I really love having touches of that in your decor. And I'm assuming she thrifted it or inherited it, or maybe it has something to do with her culture. I really like it. Look at that prop style. Some teacups or coffee mugs. I feel like you could flip them upside down. Why not give it that full prop styling moment? And I will say, I absolutely hate lilies. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but they just smell like a funeral home to me. And my mom pointed that out, and I cannot get that out of my head now. So hopefully I didn't ruin lilies for all of you, but they just smell like a funeral home. So I try to avoid, I mean, I don't even avoid, I just don't ever have lilies in my home. I wish I could. I wish they didn't smell like that. Otherwise, I really like this little space she created. A nice table with 2 chairs. I do like that she has 2 chairs. I don't feel like you always have to have 4 chairs, especially if it's not like your specific dining area. I like the mix of the mid-century table with, again, another Asian vase. And the chairs she paired with the table are pretty trendy, but I don't think that they will ever go out of style. I think it looks nice. I am really into these types of chairs right now, a fabric, like really comfortable dining chair. So if you were to upgrade, I think it would be fun to look into that. But otherwise, I think this looks really good. And again, she definitely has an eye for design just in the way that she's creating these little spaces. I think a lot of people get confused of what to do with like areas that have no purpose, but I love it. I love the whole little mini dining area. This space is amazing. It's so nice to have a sunroom. I love the black shelving unit that she put up, and I think she did a great job styling it, just making it look, fun. And she has some books, some plants. She did a great job. I think I would pull the rug out a little bit from under the sofa just because it feels a little uneven. I think the coffee table and the side table are nice if that's your style. I don't know if I would have that myself, but it works really nice in this sunroom because it's like earthy stone. My only suggestion, if you were wanting to upgrade this space, is that you could get indoor furniture. This isn't an outdoor space, so you could cozy this up a little bit with indoor furniture because I think that's outdoor furniture. I like the layout, but I think I would upgrade to something more indoors because I know it feels like you're outside, but you're not. So upgrading that, and maybe even the rug as well. I think that's an outdoor rug. I think you could really cozy up this space by just incorporating some more, indoor furniture or an indoor rug. And if you have electrical above, I don't know, I'm assuming there's a ceiling fan up there. I can't tell, but having a really cool pendant lamp, maybe like this one, could be cool. Just a suggestion. And then maybe even adding in a table lamp or a floor lamp or some type of light. I think just making this space feel like it's inside instead of going with the outdoor theme of it. Otherwise, I really like it. I think it's really beautiful. You could even get some cool patterned custom shades. There's so much you could do to upgrade this space. But right now, I really, really love it. So I don't think there's like anything you specifically have to do to upgrade. It's just if you want. The family room is a great size. First off, I want to note that the stairwell could be painted black. I normally wouldn't suggest that because I usually like to keep the original wood, but because all of the window frames or window panes are black, I think it could be nice to paint that black and then have some carpet installed to soften it up. But I think that's the one time you could paint it black, in my opinion. As for the living space, I think adding in some curtains could really make that window pop. It already is a great window, but I think adding in some curtains could be nice. And I would suggest upgrading your sofa to not an L sofa. I feel like, yes, again, that's like a design choice. I'm assuming they just moved in and that's what they had. Getting a long sofa with maybe 2 chairs, I think could help make the space feel more cohesive. Whereas right now there's kind of like a wall blocking off the space. And I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of L sofas in general, except sometimes I want one for comfortability, but like look wise, I don't know. I would definitely upgrade the sofa and maybe not black just because your TV console is black, which I really love. And the Eames chair, if that's real Eames, I'm not sure, but that's a black leather. So I think avoiding more black will be helpful, even though I do really like all the pops of black that she has. She did a really good job. As for her TV area, this is gonna be super annoying because she probably doesn't even notice this, and it might be something I specifically am noticing, but I think the TV is hung just a little too high. I think a lot of people leave too much space below the TV and the console table, so I would lower the TV personally. That's just my opinion. Also, when you're sitting on the couch, it's like you're almost like looking up, whereas you want it to be a little bit more in direct sight. I think a good measurement is taking like a reading book and putting it on your console table, and then that's kind of the height that the TV should be. Enough so that maybe you could line it with some books. But yeah, other than that, I think this place has come together really nicely for just getting it in January. They haven't even been there a whole year. And I really like her taste, and I really like all of the Asian pieces that she's incorporated. She does a great job at mixing styles. And I think my last thing to note is that little record player area. Again, this is an annoying specific thing that I'm going to point out that I don't know. Okay. My first thought is I think she should make the records a little bit closer together. I think they're too spread out. Moving them closer together and then even adding one on each row. So there's 5 and 5. I don't know. I'm weird about things being super spread out on the wall. I prefer things to be a little closer, but again, great job at like creating little spaces, because that's, I feel like, what most people struggle with. Overall, great space. I think Maggie, if you're watching, you definitely have an eye for design. So I feel like all of my suggestions aren't things that you like have to do. You know, it's like, this is terrible, you have to get rid of this. No, everything looks good. Those are just minor things that you could do to upgrade. So now we're going to head to Geneva, Switzerland. No, not Geneva, Illinois, where I'm from. Geneva, Switzerland, and Camellia sent over her space. And what I love most about Camelia's home and Maggie's home is that they're just realistic homes. Like, we all live in spaces just like this. So it's interesting to see how people are decorating them. And so yeah, let's go to Geneva, Switzerland. What I love most about this kitchen is the lighting. It has such good lighting, which is so key. My Chicago place did not have great lighting, and now all I want is a home with good light. Immediately, my first suggestion would be to replace the large rectangular table with a round one. That space is just a little bit too small to have that big of a table, and I think you could still seat just as many people at a round dining table. So my first suggestion would definitely be to sell, you could even keep the chairs, but sell the table and get a round one. I think it will really help the space feel less crammed. And then that also frees up some space around the bar countertop area, so you could actually, you know, stand by it. I don't think there's enough room for stools, but at least visually that will look more appealing. I really love her gallery wall. It adds some nice color. I actually really like the color of the walls as well. It's a nice sage. It really goes well with the brightness of this space. I think having the tablecloth is because she has children, but I do like a tablecloth. I think she could upgrade to something linen or with like a nice like floral pattern that kind of goes with the sage walls. Maybe something like this could really help the space. I don't mind the checker, but I don't think that's a design choice. I think it's more just maybe it is. I don't know. Otherwise, I would say it doesn't really go into maybe, yeah, again, get something like this. I think the lamp on the counter is great. I think that the black sconce in the back, I feel like if it's like maneuvered a little better, it actually is a really cool design touch, especially with the black cabinet back there. But otherwise, yeah, I see where she's going in this. And again, she's a realistic mother. It looks like of 2 children. So things are just gonna get messy on the counter. So what are you gonna do? I think where the little towel is hung by the sink, she could have a cute little hook. And that's just like one area to make it feel a little cuter. And I love the windowsill. I do feel like if she could free up the space on that ledge, it could be really nice to have a plant. And I don't know, it's tough when you have a small kitchen to find storage for everything, so I get it. Overall, I think the main suggestion is to get a round table. This is such a fun kids room because there's color. I love the layering of rugs, and I think red in a kids room is the most fun color to incorporate. So I don't have much design critiques on this because it's a children's room, but the red with the light wood and the white walls and even like the red bars that come through the window. And I know that's just like safety bars, but I kind of like that they're red. It kind of like helps the room in a weird way. But I think the only thing that could really liven up the space is to add in a rice paper bulb chandelier thing. I think that could just make it feel cohesive and a little bit more warm. But otherwise, this is just like a fun little kids playroom. I have nothing to critique. I think she did great with the colors. I love the red and the light, like Scandinavian wood. It's cute. Her bathroom is perfect. If you have a small bathroom, I say throw in a dark color. That is such a good color. It's like a gray green. If you're watching, Camellia, I-L-I-A, or Camellia. If you're watching, leave the color down in the comments because that's a good one. It's a really good like dusty green gray. And I think it's just smart to paint a bathroom a darker color just because why not? Why not make it moody? Because if you paint it white, it's gonna not feel as done. And I get it, you're trying to make it feel more open, but I think you just go the opposite. Just make it feel cozy because the white isn't gonna make it feel more open. It's honestly just gonna make it feel more sterile. And I think with the window, it's so cute and a little piece of vintage art, bathroom, golden. Ah, the bedroom. Listen, ever since we've had to start working from home, I feel like most people have to have a desk in their bedroom because where else are you going to put it? And that's always a struggle because it's like, where does the desk go? And honestly, I'd be curious to see, you'd have to get a new headboard, but if you moved the bed underneath the window, got a lower headboard, then it might feel better having the desk over in that corner. But I don't know the measurements, so it might not work. Otherwise, I don't know what else you could do. I don't love having a desk right next to the bed, but it's fine. It works. But yeah, maybe try underneath the window. Sometimes that can feel really nice. And I personally love walking into a room and seeing the back of the bed. I don't know. There's something about that makes the room just feel more cohesive. One previous video, I talk about feng shui, how you want to be looking out the door. So I guess that wall is right. She's correct in not having it on the other wall, but I don't know. Maybe I would move it under the window. But yeah, again, it would require getting a new headboard because you don't want to block that light. I will note she has really great rugs. Every room has great rugs in it, and I feel like they're all from Etsy, I'm assuming. I mean, you can get that type of rug on Etsy. So my only other layout suggestion would be if you shifted the bed over to the left, I don't know, and put the desk under the window. I think that could also look nice, but I wish I could come over to your place and rearrange because sometimes I just want to physically move things around. When I was in London, I went to my friend Lou's house and we were having a few cocktails and I was like, this would look better over here. And then they were like, let's do it. So we were just moving around furniture all night. Honestly, my ideal type of night. It actually didn't end up working. Spatially, it didn't even come together. So we went back to the original, or I think they did. I don't know. But yeah, would love to play around in this room. But I think she did a great job for what the layout is. And I also really like the piece of art above her bed. This family room is cool because it's big and large and there's that cool bookshelf kind of dividing it up. I think one of my main suggestions would be to get rid of this little desk, this little wood desk that's like by the shelving unit. Get rid of that and get a nice big chair because I think what's important when you have a sofa is to at least have something that kind of anchors it in. You need something where if you're sitting on the sofa, someone else can sit over here and you can have a conversation. So if that desk is not in use, I would suggest getting rid of that desk and adding in a nice chair, a lounge chair, an armchair. And also, now I'm excited. I see that you have a round table in this room. There's a lot more space in this room compared to your kitchen. And actually send me photos if you swap them. Send them to my Instagram because I'm super curious. I think that will look so much better, that table in the kitchen and then the bigger dining table out here. I think that will really be the perfect swap. And I'm excited to see. So hopefully you take my advice because I feel like it's gonna work out perfectly and I want that high. You could even install a light above the table to make it feel a little bit more put together. But again, this is a really good space. And I think, yeah, just getting that chair in the corner. And if you have kids, which she does, I think it's nice to get like a nice ottoman like this as your coffee table instead of a hard coffee table. I actually have a little scar above my eyebrow right here from running into a glass coffee table when I was young. So if you have kids, instead of a coffee table, just get an ottoman. I still think it looks really nice. And I think it's easy to move out of the way if that's where they're playing or whatever. But I think adding in an ottoman, a chair, swapping the dining tables, again, golden. And of course, I love the little dresser in the family room because I like a dresser elsewhere. And I think it looks cute. A little decor moment and good storage for children's toys. That's another reason why to have a dresser in your family room. Good storage for shit you don't want to see. Okay, that's it for another round of reviewing my subscribers' homes. I feel like this one was fun. Realistic homes, just like minor swaps, not a lot of things they have to purchase, more stuff that they can just kind of move around in their space. I don't know. I love doing these. I love getting submissions for reviewing your homes because it's so cool just to see how everyone is living all over the world. I wish I could show a lot more of the spaces that are submitted, but I kind of, pick the ones that I feel like I can talk about and again, realistic. So if you're interested in being featured or receiving my feedback on your space, again, send a horizontal video to highpaigewassel@gmail.com. Go follow me on Instagram at wasslepa. Wow, a lot of plugs. I only encourage the Instagram because that's where I post if I'm taking submissions. I mean, I'm always taking submissions, but if you want to be notified, follow me at wasslepa. And thank you everybody for 100K. I hit it a bit ago now at this point after I'm filming this. And before I go do nothing today, I'm going to do nothing because I'm so exhausted from this job and then also filming stuff. I've just been working a lot lately. But whatever, I've also been traveling and not working a lot. So it's a balance that I'm trying to figure out. So yeah, I'm going to do nothing today and think about how I hit 100K on YouTube because I get my little plaque and I'm very excited for my plaque. So just saying thank you. That was ultimately my goal from the beginning, was to throw up a few videos, see if people liked them. And if they did, then I would keep making them. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try and hit 100K so that I can get my plaque because I want a trophy in my life other than being on like B team for basketball. And I told myself at 100K, you can reevaluate if you like YouTube or not, and if you want to keep making videos or if you want to keep doing prop styling. And you know what? I like it. I like it a lot. I like making YouTube videos. It's really fun. So thank you all for watching and subscribing and participating in these videos and sending me your homes. This is cool. I love it. I love it. I love YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I'm an influencer. All right, I'm gonna go lay down for the rest of the day and I'm gonna order in dinner. I don't know what yet, but I don't want to move. So I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.